discussing business on the phone. But Scotty, boy, we clue when turn up. I'm Dolo when I'm out making different moves.
On EA Sports.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle Seahawks. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is Howard on second down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, it's Wilson. He leaves this one for Howard. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. For Harrison, there's a look at what he did last week. 20 carries, 58 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
Right, that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
His pass caught at the 4. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On third down, it's Harrison. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up here, is able to knock it through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And that is incomplete here.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On third down, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll look to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A give to Howard. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to this here on 2nd down.
This is Howard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. On 2nd down, Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A beautiful fake. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard. And just like that, it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to air this out for both. They've got his man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 46 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch it now, Barney.
The drive will start with an option going left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now Sims fights him off. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That goes for a gain of 31.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got...
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Avery Williamson leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They go with Howard again. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Gun!
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Jets on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
Gone! Gone! Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. His longest run of the game right there, and a pretty good time for it. A huge 3rd down conversion late.
Love the mindset. Love the way he flipped the switch. Late in the game, needed a big run, and helped produce it with great leverage from the offensive line. But you also know what happens, too. The defense stacks the line. So if you can break through that first barrier, there's usually plenty of room to run.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Curtis. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Now Myers for the extra point. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now it's Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the shotgun, Wilson to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to face a 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On the carry, it's Cannon. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Barkevious Mingo. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hogan. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on first. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started. Nice gain. Got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Now it's Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd and 4.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Wilson. And Allen's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. And at the 38, time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
And they'll run it here. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
No, check, Patriot!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. On 3rd down, that's Harrison. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in a position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. And now he clocks it with 19 seconds remaining. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.